We are talking about a global climate justice issue based on the principle of equity, that everybody is equal, right? The global West emissions per capita on average, it's much higher than the global South. Everybody knows that. Everybody accepts that. It's much, much higher. These emissions are going to come and create massive damage to the global South, even though our contribution to the emissions are actually limited. Professor Mohan Munasinghe, the Sri Lankan Nobel laureate, the committee he worked on, I saw him on CNN just a few weeks ago. On CNN he said that these excess emissions are 900 billion tons. And he said that when you compute it in dollars, it's US dollars 40 to 45 trillion US dollars. This is the damage that the global North has done. It is an environmental debt that the global North has to pay the global South. And I think the global South, we must make our case very clear. That's a debt that they owe. They are always talking about the financial debt that the global South has, which is about 10 or 11 trillion dollars. Their debt to the global South is 40 to 45 trillion dollars. This is the question of equity. So, while there is no legal basis on us actually claiming it, there is an ethical responsibility on the global North. Ethical responsibility that basically damaging our environment, the South's environment. The president went to COP27. He took his team and went. I went to COP27 myself with MP Harshana Rajakaruna. It was in Egypt. What was the message in COP27? The message in COP27 is the global North has a responsibility to the global South. It has a responsibility. It at least needs to create a fund. Why are we pursuing Express Pearl? We want to definitely clear the damage and minimize it. We want to create our own fund because we are exposed, very badly exposed. Sri Lanka, we are an island, right? And our sea territory is 8 times bigger than our land territory. We need to basically protect our territories. Yesterday I saw in the Daily Mirror, Johan Pereira, the journalist, had said, Sri Lanka's Department of Meteorology, the intertropical convergence, and the increased temperature in the sea will give rise to current atmospheric disturbances and cyclonic storms in Sri Lanka. This was yesterday's paper, warning us that we are at risk. Why are we at risk? Why is the global temperature gone high? Because of the emissions that have gone on for years and years. The Human Rights Commission of Sri Lanka also issued a statement yesterday. I'm going to just quote from that statement. It says, the Express Pearl disaster did have an immense impact on the environment, both on land and in territorial waters, economically and potentially, although not quantified, on the health of the affected communities of Sri Lanka. It was for Sri Lanka the largest maritime, man-made environmental disaster of its kind. I repeat it again, it was for Sri Lanka the largest maritime and man-made environmental disasters of its kind.
Remember, you have 2 more minutes.
I would say one of the biggest in the world. And comparably, so internationally in particular as regards the pollution caused by the immense quantity of both toxic nodules and nitric acids awash in the ocean and along the coastal belt. These had both immense economic ramifications and health considerations. Now, I didn't want to discuss all the details on Express Pearl because of the requests that have been made. But why are we thinking that we are undermining the case when it is being heard in Singapore? Does sub judice apply to this parliament? Under constitutional and administrative law, as we have heard, the legal principle of the supremacy of parliament prevails. The whole doctrine of sub judice is in question worldwide. Furthermore, are you suggesting that the judiciary in Singapore is incapable of discerning between legal principles, evidence, and fiction? Our arguments on the case being instituted in Sri Lanka was not based on the capability of the judicial system in Singapore. We don't have trust in it? We do. But why have we been objecting to it? It was based on three simple things. And I'm going to conclude with that. One, undermining of Sri Lanka's sovereignty on a crime committed on Sri Lankan territory. It would be normal and regular to have instituted proceedings here. Two, not only a matter of legality, but of political philosophy as well. And three, you have undermined our legal and judicial capability. Is it the correct thing that you have done? Thank you for the time given.